Some managers sometimes complain about this time of year, David, but I suspect games can't come quickly enough the way you're playing at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's been a hectic schedule. I think anybody that tells you differently, it's been a long couple of weeks, but it's an enjoyable couple of weeks. So looking forward to the game tomorrow. We know it's going to be a very difficult game. Keith's got a team that's he can change at any opportunity, and he's a very experienced and a very good coach. So we know we face a difficult game tomorrow, but I think it's one that the players are looking forward to.
How does that affect your preparation when you know that the other manager is someone who can change his mind perhaps in the lead up to a match?
Yeah, I think he's very confident in his ability as a manager. I think most teams now he changes 4 or 5 personnel in each game, keeps people guessing, but we just need to go and make sure we concentrate on ourselves and we've been playing well and need to make sure we're organised and make sure that we're difficult to play against. But we have been over the last say 4 or 5 weeks.
It's funny to talk about a manager changing 4 or 5 players when you seem to have really struck upon your fixed 11 coming into the January period now. Is it nice as a manager even when resources are a little bit limited to know really what your strongest 11 is now?
Yes, it's been difficult. It's been well documented the injuries we have had. I think Simon put in his article that it's the first time in 25 games I played the same team. So that tells you everything, whether it's been injuries or suspensions. So that was nice. I thought we played really well at Sunderland. I thought we deserved a point. And as it says, we are down to bare bones again. You only look at the bench we have again. We're down to kids and mostly defenders again playing. So it's one of these games where we just need to make sure we get through the next 2 games and then hopefully we can bring some players in January.
Now we know if you say you don't read the headlines, we know that you do. In terms of your squad. In terms of your squad for Rochdale, how are the players holding up? Have you got any fresh concerns after Sunderland?
No, there's a few boys got a few aches and bruises, I think, but nothing that's going to keep them out of the game. Just need to manage players. Since we had a recovery day yesterday, we'll train today and we'll see how the players are and need to make sure that everybody's fully fit and ready to go because it's a tough game. Then we've got another tough game at home to Accrington on Tuesday, and as I said, we're down to probably 18, 19 players now that we can choose from. So it's important to keep these players fit and make sure that we prepare properly for the next 2 games over a short period of 4 days.
On the Sunderland game, obviously there's one thing that Bradford fans will remember about the game going forward, but in terms of the response to it, if that had happened a couple of months ago, I think the response from maybe yourself, the players, would have been very different. It would have been a very difficult thing to stomach because you're so desperate for the points. Now it feels like you feel a bit more indignant given the fact that actually you're playing well at the moment and deserved something.
Yeah, I think we deserved a point. I think everybody's seen it was a goal. I knew at the time where John McLaughlin's body was, it was a goal. I think the whole stadium did. But these things we can laugh about now, but it could be a massive point at the end of the season. I thought we went there with a game plan. I thought Sunderland passed the ball about the middle of the park quite well, but never really hurt us. As I said before, they'd 1 or 2 half chances, I'd say, and I think that was it. So it was credit to the players. I thought we'd a massive shout for a penalty. I think the penalty was more frustrating for me because at the time I thought it was definite. I've seen it again, it is. And it's just these decisions where you are, and frustrating, difficult to take, but we move on quite quickly. I think the boys are disappointed after the game because we've went to a team with Premier League players, Championship players, 47,000 people at a game, and I thought we handled the occasion very well.
Are away results the next step now? The form at home has really picked up in recent weeks. Is being able to get yourselves over the line and get some points away from home sort of the next building block for you?
I think every game we've been at, we've tried to be competitive, we've tried to win every game that we can, and as I say, you've got to give the players great credit. I think anybody would have gave a hope of being out of the bottom 4, still in with a chance of getting away from the bottom 4 of the league. I think they've responded fantastically well, and as I say, it's credit to them that we've pushed on. We're trying to get away from where we are, and it says the players now starting to believe in themselves. I think there's a few players coming back from injury now. Hopefully we'll get Convo back maybe for Tuesday. It gives us another option in midfield. It gives another goal threat. And as you've seen in Saturday, no disrespect, but you're changing the game and we're bringing a centre half, a centre midfielder, and we're not really changing the game. What we'll carry on, but these things are where we need to be as a group of players in a squad. That we need players from the bench who can come on and keep us going at that intensity that I want to play at, and that'll be important in January. We can get players that it's going to make us better in that department.
That being said, is it relief to at least be looking at a squad and saying, well, I need to complement this squad now, rather than perhaps when you came in, people might have told you needed to do a complete overhaul in January?
I think everybody did. I think that if you believe in yourself as a manager and a coach, I think anybody that's seen us playing, I've get the best out of players, and I think they've responded. I think the players that are in the squad now are the ones that took on board the hard work and the demands that I put in players. I think they've all got better, they've all got fitter, stronger, mentally stronger, and as I say, it's now that we need to push on. Next 2 games are massive and crucial, that we take some from both games, and every game's going to be massive, but I think now that the players are playing with belief, we're playing well at home, as you said, but we just need to start turning these away performance into points. And
finally, you talked about how keen you are to get players in as quickly as possible. Those sort of players that you're talking about who maybe haven't come with you in the last few weeks, is there deals in place to maybe get some moved on in the January window yet?
Yeah, as I said before, and the easiest way for me as a coach and a manager, I've always been the same, as hard work, determination, mental strength, and the players who aren't in the squad, if they show that and they want to be back in the squad, then they will be. That shows they want to come here. If they don't, then these are things where I always say that when you lift training, you raise the bar, you make training harder, there's more discipline. The players who want to go and the players who want to progress in their career will come with you. They're the ones who maybe not get that mindset, and they'll probably move on in January. So these things they're quite easy to sort out, and as I say, they just keep putting demands, and the players who will be here at the end of the season, the demands will be even more once we get another settled squad and we're back to a week-to-week training schedule, which will let me implement some more of our fitness work, because it's been hectic over the last 4 or 5 weeks. We're playing Saturday, Tuesday, all you're doing is recovering, so we need to make sure that the players go and we kick on again.
Thank you, David.
I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said over the weekend that it doesn't matter how much talent's in a squad, it's about the effort they put in. That's down to attitude. That sounds pretty much to be your philosophy as well.
Yeah, of course it is. I think anybody that's worked under me, every player that I've coached, is either on to better things. They've all matured, grown up, and there'll be a lot of players who have worked under me who will just blame everybody else but themselves. So these things are important. They're important to me. I'm not a manager who's all myself. I want to see players progress. I want to see the club progress, and that's the biggest thing. If you see them progressions, then you get results. And I think everybody's seen that just now, that players who maybe thought with nice footballers and different things, you got to look at Jack Payne, Lewis O'Brien, David Ball, they've all flourished because they're fitter, they're stronger, and they're working for a team. And when you work for a team, your performance will become better.
And when we look at the goal that wasn't given at Sunderland and some of the situations earlier in the season, that goal would have been given in the Premiership because of goal line technology.
Yeah.
They're talking of bringing VAR into the Premiership next year. How frustrating is it that at this level there's none of that technology?
I think it's financially it's far too much for clubs. It's okay saying you're Sunderland or whatever and you can afford to pay it, but I think you don't need a video to see it was a goal. I mean, these things that I can see at Premier League, when it's the ball's hit that hard, it's different things. It's a wee bit more quality, they've got more cameras at the game, but I think in naked eye, I think everybody's seen reaction, body language, everybody, it was a goal. But these things are frustrating. We move on. We know, I think with the good exposure from it, so everybody knows that we should have left probably the team that's favourites in the league. We should have left with a point at least.
And you said it's been hard over the past couple of weeks because it's not much time, but it's all about recovery and not much time to do other work. With not being in the FA Cup, is that a good break that you can use to get some rest into the players, but also some of the other work you need to do? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's important. I say we're working hard behind the scenes here. We're trying to get things changed at the training ground. The club's been fantastic and everything we're wanting to do. We're changing things slowly. So hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll manage to get some work done here. We'll basically give the players a few days rest because I think they deserve it, and then go away and recharge their batteries, because obviously this time of year they've missed Christmas, they've probably missed New Year now, but obviously after the Argentina game we will give the players maybe 3-4 days rest to make sure they come back and get ready for the challenge that lays ahead till May.
Cheers.
David, obviously about transfer window coming up, I mean, what's it like as a manager, the January window?
I think some people get carried away with it. I think as I said before, we've spoke to a few players, and then agents get involved in different people, and players might want to go to another club, and other clubs I know you're interested, so it becomes difficult. It's about being patient, and I've always been the same. It's about, I want players who want to play for Bradford. I don't want players that's just coming to try and think, I'll get some games and play. I want players who maybe begin at a contract in the summer, or you may have a chance to sign them long term. And I want players who want to come here, learn, and I want players who want to come here and are fully committed to playing for Bradford.
Can it be a bit of a distraction? Because obviously, while you're doing all this, there's the season going on. You know, it's not sort of like I presume the difference in the summer is at least you've got a chance to focus on sort of chasing targets and talking to people. Whereas here, you've got to sort of juggle that with carrying on with, you know, the important stuff out there.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult. I think now that we're getting to a stage where you're only playing Saturday to Saturday, so it's not as hectic as if you're playing Saturday Tuesday. So I think you get a lot of phone calls, you get a lot of agents and a lot of players put towards you. I think you've got to be selective. I think when you don't have a plan of what you need or who you want, then it becomes very frustrating and difficult. If you've got a clear plan of what you want to add to your squad, then it becomes easy, because if somebody phones me and says, I've got 2 players at a certain position that I don't need, then it's easy to just say thanks but no thanks. You've got to make sure that the ones that you do want, you've got to work extremely hard. You've got to nowadays convince an agent for a player to come, where in my day you convinced the player. So these things become not problematic, but I think you've got to speak to 2 people about one job.